time you got there?
4:29.
You've got about 3 seconds.
Debbie, I wasn't sure how many to make, so I brought 3 of the plants.
Okay.
What? I'm sorry, what?
I said, that's why I asked. Is there any?
Okay, sounds good.
Can you sell it all, take all the money and then run?
Can you, it would be great if you could send me all that stuff electronically.
Sure, yeah.
You still have to have one on file in the office.
I'm sorry, what?
You still have to have one on file in the office.
Right.
If somebody wants to
I would
look
prefer
at it.
it, yeah, but I would prefer it electronically. I'm
bet.
not saying that I don't want it, yeah. I would
All right,
have
let's all
to.
call the meeting to order and rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Rod, here, Nicole,
Here.
Dave, here, Carolyn, Jeff.
Here. All right, we are here at the meeting with Mr. Jim. Where would you like to start, Jim?
Sure. I brought 3 sets of plans. If you want to, maybe Dave
Bring them
and
up right now.
could share, Debbie, you take one, and maybe one on the end. And I have one. I wanted to walk you through, this is a draft set of plans. It's a good time for everyone to, and I will also send you a PDF copy of these documents as well, electronic. And I wanted to walk you through what we're proposing to do, and then give you all a week or 2 to think it over, look at the plans, let me know of any comments, any changes you might want, you know, as our client.
This
So,
is the same set of plans that you had emailed to us? Or had emailed to
very
Jason?
similar, it's a little more advanced, you know, we made a few more changes and cleaned them up a little bit. But I wanted to start out with, back in the fall, we set our 7-day traffic counter device out on the road, and it also marks speed limit as well. And it classifies whether they're vehicles or trucks. We averaged 383 vehicles per day on Stott Avenue. And that was set up for 7 full days. The average speed limit was 53 miles per hour. Even though it's
They slowed down a little bit.
we clocked somebody at 94. But yeah, the average speed's 53, so it's over, you know, it's posted at 45
No, it's not.
in some locations.
Is it? I don't think it's, any of those roads are
Whatever
posted.
is prudent.
Oh, okay.
No, isn't it
I
45?
thought it was
No,
45.
that's as low as it can be posted in this township, because we have no law enforcement. But there is, but I don't think there's any posted speed limits in this, in the town.
Or don't you remember?
I don't think I don't think there's no posts, but I thought
Okay.
they were all 45 or something.
No, they're not, they're
They're not.
55, they're road
Oh.
speed.
They're
Okay.
They're supposed to be 55.
Oh, they
55.
are? Oh.
Yeah.
And if you get a new road, it's gonna be faster.
It's faster.
You can't find it at 55.
Yeah. So I actually found that, I found that the speed was pretty good. Like, I've counted some town roads and it's been an average speed of over 60. So it was nice to see 53, especially with the various hills.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I hate to say it, but the roughness of the pavement slows people down
yeah.
too, you
Yeah.
know, so, that happens as well. Another thing we did in the fall was we took a look at all of your culvert pipes on the corridor, and about the, 4th page in is a real nice color copy overview of the Stock Avenue corridor from 97 to C. And you have 9 culvert pipes in that stretch. I denote them with a circle, CP 1, 2, 3, and it just means culvert pipe 1 up through 9. Now, of those 9 pipe, only 2 were you know, in a failing state. So our plan includes the replacement of those 2 culvert pipes. One is just north of Elm Tree Road, and the other is right nestled up at County C.
Okay.
That one actually is collapsed and non-functioning.
So that'd be 1 and
7.
6, huh?
9, Dave? culvert pipe 9 at the end of the job, and culvert pipe number 7,
You said by Elm Tree though,
north of Elm Tree.
which is,
Well, I guess 6 and 7, but number 7.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
And
So-
you said 9 was the other culvert by C?
Yeah, culvert pipe number 9 was total failure. It's plugged. And it's really shallow. So we're gonna replace that one with a concrete culvert pipe. It's called class 4, so it's really strong because there's very little cover over it from the roadway itself. And that's probably why the pipe that's there failed, is it's just so shallow. Okay. The other culverts that you have on your corridor are all corrugated steel. They have 15 plus years life in them or more. They were in actually very good shape. Now, the thing that we did take time to do on all of your culverts is we took a look at the ditch condition. So I have ditch cleaning in our plans to clean the ditch by many of your culvert pipes where the silt has built up above the top of the culvert. We'll get them back to a flowable condition, so I have ditch cleaning in there. Some of the riprap collars, you have really nice riprap collars, you know, like a collar on your shirt that goes around the pipe. I like that, it's good, it helps stabilize the bank up top along the roadway. We're proposing to refresh a lot of that riprap, okay, because it's getting old and it's getting sunk down. There are a few culverts that I have in the plan that call for an end wall to be put on them. They don't have one, but we have enough right of way, and I'm seeing enough scour at the end of the pipe where an end wall would help that condition, so that the water doesn't fall off the edge, turbulence, and then create, you know, a bunch of scour and erosion. End walls help with that.
Okay.
So I have all of that documented, and like I say, I was really pleased to see how well your culvert pipes are holding up, because those can get expensive if we say had to replace all 9 of them. So I was pleased with that. We took borings out there. This was really good news because it helped us avoid a reconstruct of the road. On the second page is a soil boring log. We took 12 borings on your road. It looks like a table. It says Stock Avenue soil boring information. So we took a 4-inch core through the road, through the base course, and into the subgrade, and report our findings. So for the most part, you always have at least 3 inches of asphalt. And you also, this road is built on a very good base aggregate of 8 to almost 15, 16 inches. And then below that is a nice silky sand material, okay? So what I'm proposing for the pavement treatment, because remember when you submitted this project, it was pavement replacement. Pave replace, meaning we're gonna try to not regrade the whole road and buy right away, but try to replace to a good solid pavement. So I think what I'm recommending is that we take that nice existing asphalt and we grind it all up and relay it. It's called pulverize and relay. It turns it back into aggregate, recycled asphalt aggregate. I've targeted a depth for that pulverizing to be 5 inches, so that gets you through all of the asphalts there, mixes it with a little underlying base, and then lays it back out. That gets all rolled and compacted by the contractor. And then we pave a new mat on top, and that will compress maybe about a 1/2 inch or more from what it is today, because it gets reblended and recompacted, so it drops a little. And then we're gonna overlay it with 4 inches of asphalt in 2 layers. That's shown.
That'd be enough asphalt on there, Jim?
Yeah, I did a pavement design analysis,
Uh-huh.
and that's plenty for
So
the
that-
traffic that you have, yeah.
Okay, but that road you can't post, so,
Correct, yes, and I did check it, because I have the trucks in there, and I included that in my payment design formula,
Okay.
and you will not have to load post the road.
okay.
The saving there is all that base that you have, and then we're gonna add, you know, almost 5 more inches of new base or
Okay.
reblended base.
So that's gonna tolerate the pit if they decide to make that their route?
It's, yeah, I have it tolerating, you know, projection of quite a few trucks.
Well, they're all day long in the summertime, basically 7 o'clock until, was it 5:30 or 6?
Yeah, whatever it
It's
is.
solid trucks.
Solid.
Yeah.
Where do they run? What
They're running
stretch?
out of the pit up here out of Galvin.
What they do is they go up to C and then head over to 97
Okay.
as a rule.
That's a
This
Or
rule.
they go
way-
down E, depending
up
upon
to
which
this
way they
way,
go.
they'll go around 97 or back out E.
Okay.
They'll stay off at E this year because it's so crappy.
Is that?
Yeah, it's bad.
Bad, okay. Yeah, no, I have it designed for no load postings.
Okay.
So. Yeah, a project like this, we target 10 to 15 years of service life.
Okay.
10 minimum, 15 hopefully, before you have to do, say, another mill and overlay or treat that pavement.
And I think with this grant also, you have to wait 10 years to show any deterioration before you can post it. And you have to go back to the state and ask them.
Okay, okay. It's the agricultural
AGR 9010.
E-rip, right, 9010, yeah, good. Yeah, no, so, that was our primary focus, is make sure you get a pavement structure to hold up. And for all practical purposes, that pavement structure, and it's grinded into some details, but the lower mix is called a 3LT, and the 3 means larger aggregate in the asphalt. Larger aggregate provides a little more structural support. So I've put that number 3 gradation on the bottom layer of the asphalt, topping it with a number 4. And, you know, if you talk to the industry like American Asphalt, you know, they're gonna encourage you to go as coarse an aggregate as you can, and that's what I've done with this pavement design as well. Now, the one thing,
Yeah.
I will run this by the industry, and just to double check my mix design there that I'm using and what they recommend. And if they make any tweaks, I'll let you know.
Okay.
But I think this is pretty good. We're probably right on with our mix design.
All right.
The actual asphalt mix itself, not the thickness or the layers. Okay? That's the primary nuts and bolts of the project. Now, you asked me to look at a couple of hills that are on Stott Avenue. The one that was the most concerning to me as an engineer was the hill at 1 Mile Road, mainly because when I was at the stop sign on 1 Mile Road, I looked to the south or to my left, at the speed you have, I couldn't see 500 feet. I could only see maybe 300.
And you had to get ahead of the stop sign in order to look to the left.
And you do, yeah, you're right, Dave. So that is one hill that I'm proposing that we cut the top of it off, and I show that in your plans. And try to get that 500 to 600 foot sight distance, and I was
Okay.
able to achieve that. Could you achieve more? Sure, but you're gonna spend a lot of money to try and get that, to keep cutting that hill down, but that was enough to get, it's what we call stopping sight distance, meaning if I was on a tractor or I was pulling out and my car died, just as I got through the intersection, I'm sitting in the middle of stop, somebody needs about 500 feet to process that and stop before they collide into you. If you have less than that at 55 miles an hour, it gets closer here. The other one I looked at, Dave, was Elm Tree.
I'd like to talk about this one a
You
little
got
bit.
it, yep.
You basically have it put on a 3-foot curve on this thing, that
Yes,
section,
yes.
and then everything angles towards the road, so all the moisture, all the rain,
Comes to the
for
road.
33 is gonna come to the road.
Just from the roadway itself, because when I lower the road, I remove some of the ditch that's there today, the ditch.
Well, I'm looking, I guess I haven't found it here yet, but I was looking at what you had emailed us. Did you change it since you emailed us?
No, actually, I have not. No.
Because on that, it actually slopes from the outside, the 33 feet, everything slopes to the center, or not to the center of the road, but slopes towards the road. So that means the snow and everything that we try to push off, which we will not be able to push off very well, because of the grade, is gonna come back to the road this time of the year, it's gonna melt back. I'm
Oh,
looking-
it should, it's, everything slopes to curb and gutter, and then it follows that flow line down about the middle of the hill, and then goes off on a road.
What page are we on?
Curb and gutter. Okay, how about we look at, in the back of your sheet, is what I call cross sections.
Yep,
Okay,
what page you got there?
I didn't put page numbers on,
Is
sorry.
LSU the two sets? I'm like, they're all two.
I shut up. It looks just like this, first page that looks like that. It's towards the end of your whole plan set, way in the back. Just do like that one.
So how many from the end, Jim?
Oh, we're getting close, Rob.
There you go.
I went from the back.
There you go. There.
Oh, this one.
Okay, and it starts about, maybe halfway up the hill or so. And here's what happens is, I try to lower the road gradually. It starts to get lower here, but as you flip a few sheets in, the dash line on top of these cross sections, the dash line, that's the existing road. And then you see I'm cutting 2 to 3 feet below. I tried to maybe not even put curb and gutter in, but here's what happens is the bottom of the aggregate gets to be even with your ditch bottom, existing ditch bottom. You never like to do that. I don't like to design a road for you like that, because that just means your base is constantly saturated
Yeah,
with water. So what this does when we throw curb and gutter in is it allows us to lower the road and fill in a little bit of the ditch, but still preserve some ditch on the outside. But it takes all the storm water from the road, puts it in the flow line of the curb and gutter, and sends it down the hill. And then we outlet it back to the ditch that's there today through what's called a flume. So that's what I kind of did on this hill cut to handle the storm water. Okay,
So how much are you actually lowering the road then?
almost about 3 feet on the top of that.
Okay, so what are you doing with 1 mile then to alleviate sliding into the road? Because that road
I'm
basically
lowering
is
that a
gravel.
little bit too, yeah.
So, but the stop sign will be flat yet?
Yes, yeah, always.
We're not
put a
gonna, we're not gonna
flat
have a
spot.
pitch?
Not pitched down, no,
Okay,
no.
because that didn't show in your other plans. so it
Exactly,
was-
yeah. Yeah, that's what I started to detail is the side road profiles. I never like to pitch a side road down so that you would slide through out onto the highway.
Because that is a gravel road, so it's basically ice in the wintertime.
Okay, okay. So with that cut on 1 mile road, when you're at the stop sign, you're gonna be able to see almost about 500 to 600 feet. I'm projecting more than like 600 feet that I can see to the south. Looking to the north really hasn't always probably been a problem. That's pretty visible.
okay.
So I don't worry about that, but I was worrying about people on 1 mile coming out, looking to the south,
You live
so.
there? Rod? 6?
6.
Yeah, there's a few homes back in there. And you know, if they have kids and stuff, I thought that that was a good investment, so I'm glad you guys asked us to look at
Well, I
that.
had a few complaints about come up over the hill and, you know, there's somebody
Okay.
there.
Okay.
When you cut that top of the hill down, what's your cross section for that? What are you putting underneath it?
For that, we have 12 inches of base aggregate and 4 inches of asphalt for the reconstruct segment of the road. And that 4/12, that gets us in what's called like a 3-to-1 ratio of asphalt to aggregate, and that's kind of the ideal spot you want to
You
be.
planning on fabric underneath that if you get all the way through that and sand that's underneath it?
I won't necessarily get into the sand, but I did want to ask you about that. If you guys have a desire for geotextile fabric, they call it SAS, subgrade aggregate separation. It's a
And that keeps
layer.
everything in place more. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
that's what we put on Man Street
Yeah.
for you. You know, that's a great question. I wanted to ask you how you felt about a run of that, if you felt that was worth investing in.
I would think so.
You know, once you take, you're cutting down 2 to almost 3 feet to some.
I'm cutting out the
You're taking-
existing
You're
aggregate.
taking everything out, probably even all the sand that's underneath there, you're gonna need some kind of support.
Okay.
And that was dug out for a number of, about 10.
Yeah.
Because the smooth spot here is a soft spot.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so years back, I don't remember exactly how long ago, but they did dig that out, and I believe they put aggregate down, and then also I believe they put some drainage in there, also pipes. Did they not, or tile in there? Because there's a spring and it's in there, every spring it's softened up and.
Right, and that's why the top surface was,
Well, then it'd be a good idea to put that fabric
we
in.
dug it out, put base course in, and
Okay.
put
10?
a
Okay,
cap on it.
okay.
Oh. Bet you 15. Just kind of living.
How's Man Street holding up, by the way?
So far, so
So
good.
far, so good. Because
People
that
are
was
watching it
that,
really close because I keep getting phone calls. There was a semi and they're getting me the names and address and license number and,
holy cow.
oh yeah,
There's a couple dips on the culverts, but you gotta be looking for them.
yeah.
That's
But, so I've been calling these companies and telling them to keep the damn trucks off the roads and
Okay,
so far it
Okay.
seems to be working.
okay. So
Well, the
we
one
will
guy
add
just lives down there.
geotextile to that reconstruct segment.
Mhm. But the standard comment is, we got a nice road, we're keeping it that way, keep those trucks off of there, they don't live out here anyway.
Okay,
It's a shortcut.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Do we have signs on there that say no trucks?
It's posted, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay. Clearly, I have not read the sign, that if it's there.
It says, pretty sure it says no trucks both ends.
it does, yeah. The other hill that we looked at was the hill south of Elm Tree. And I spent some time there a couple weeks ago and then again tonight before I came. And when I'm stopped at Elm Tree to see to the peak of the hill, I can see almost 800 feet, 700 to 800 feet. You know, remember I was telling you at 55, you need 500 minimum to process what's happening and come to a stop. And here's the challenge with cutting that one, is to actually gain more distance. I'll show you what it looks like. It comes to like a peak,
Yep.
like that. You'd have to cut almost 8 to 10 feet of the top of that off before you start to be able to see through it. That's a really deep cut. And here's what I found is there's quite a cluster of driveways up there on the top of that hill. And what concerns me with a deep cut for them is kind of what you mentioned. They're coming in pretty flat right now, and if I cut even 3 to 5 feet, I start to pitch their driveways down the road, so when it's slippery and icy in their driveway, they're just kind of sliding out, and I don't like to do that. I'd have to really go back, I think, onto their driveway, or the town would get off right away to try to give them something, you know, flat, and then ramp up to the garage. And it's such a deep cut that I didn't feel the investment was probably worth.
But we do have the visibility regardless.
You do, you meet the minimum, you actually exceed the minimum stopping site distance.
Okay.
You know, and because it's on a hill, I like the 700-800 feet, because it's on a hill, you have more than 500, it takes them longer to slow down because they're coming downhill, so we have that kind of built in, so.
Okay.
And I asked that question because we go across there, we got 200 and some acres to the west.
Okay,
And the elm tree's a dead end, so all the crop has to go in that way, and waste and manure goes west the other day, west the other way. And, I've had a couple close calls there.
Have you?
Even at the top of the hill. One guy asked me, I was going into the farm driveway, so that was a
Okay.
concern of mine,
okay.
and I think you answered it.
Yeah, I mean, let's say if this wasn't pave replace, this was reconstruct, I think I would look at it more closer, if we're reconstructing the entire roadway and redoing all of your ditches and everyone's driveway culvert pipe. With this project, you know, we're not touching or having to work on people's private culvert pipes. We just much like man, we were able to preserve that.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you have a town policy, but some towns, if the roadway causes the private culvert to be non-functional, the town pays for it. That's 99% of the town's function in that capacity. Now, if their culvert fails, you probably don't pay for it, it's their
Right.
problem. But when you have a project that causes their culvert to, you know, no longer be functional, or it's at the wrong elevation, I think you guys end up picking up the tab
Yeah.
on that, and pretty soon you're really into some
On
much
the west side, north of the intersection,
west side north, okay, big riprap, radius there.
I'm saying up toward, let's see, 1, 2, 3, north of 4 residences.
Okay,
There's 2 tile lines that come out there into the ditch, field tile.
okay,
And I think I've got holes by both of them.
you do, okay. Now, they come in probably on the back slope, Dave?
Correct.
Okay, now we're not disturbing anything on the back slope. I should tell you, when we pulverize relay,
Yep.
that stays right up on the upper road core. Now, when we put 2-foot shoulder, gravel shoulder back in, that gravel is, you know, higher than existing, but I'm gonna lay that out at 2 feet laterally, and then some of it will blend down the end slope
Okay.
and get compacted and seeded so that it continues to grow. But there's so many, what we delineated the wetlands out here, and all of the ditches, except the high spots obviously, but all the ditches along Stott are kind of classified as wetlands. So I felt it was important that, yeah, you know, in an ideal world, you'd flatten them slopes, so if you ran off the road, you could recover. But it's gonna get you into so much wetland impact that the mitigation costs would be
Astronomical?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking almost 90, well, current mitigation cost for 1 acre of land is exceeding $115,000 an acre.
Oh, my.
It's pricey.
Could we make that intersection a 4-way stop?
Who's gonna stop there?
And the
It's
only-
like they stop
well,
out here.
Right, but the only reason I'm asking is like, you know, we have the new road too, people are gonna be speeding down there.
Mhm.
It's gonna be an extra stop to hopefully slow down people.
Put a roundabout in.
God.
That'll slow them down.
Those are getting so popular, yeah.
I think with the way it's been for so many years, you put a stop sign there and you're
Oh,
almost
that'd
going
be
to
the worst. Yep.
literally more accidents is what's gonna happen,
Now,
because people ain't gonna pay attention to that. They're not-
It depends on the time of day.
Yeah.
Early, you know, rush hour in the morning and afternoon, and then with the shift change up at Mullins.
Mhm.
And some of those,
Or if there's a squad car sitting there, the only time they stop out here is when there's a
Yeah.
squad sitting there.
well, a couple of them I followed to see where they went, and it was Mullins, and we talked to Josh, and
Mhm.
he put the word out. Because a couple of them, I mean, there was a couple of trucks that went through there, and they were probably the 90-mile-an-hour one, or whatever.
there was somebody at 94, yeah.
Oh,
I think it was on a Sunday too. It was.
Late for church.
If you ever want all the data for that, in fact, when I finalize this job, you're gonna get the count report and the payment report and the culvert inspection report. I just haven't caught up yet on some of those reports that I was gonna give you, and I thought I'd just verbalize them for you tonight
Mhm.
to let you know what our findings were. But between now and say a couple weeks, when you have a little time to look at this, I will send you those documents
Okay.
as well for the town. I didn't know, I wasn't sure how many to print, so I think what I'll do is just PDF them to you, guys, and then you can send them to the board and,
What about the approach to the bridge? That was done when the bridge was put in 3 years ago. Is that gonna be redone, or?
I was gonna retain that, Dave.
Okay.
Yeah, it seemed like it's in really good shape,
Yep,
you know.
yep.
I did wanna ask you, as you come up to that bridge, there's a narrow bridge sign on the approach. Do you want me to check if that's still, like, was that always there when the old bridge was there, or is that a new sign that went up?
It's the original one.
It's the original. Sometimes it's no longer justified or warranted, but the bridge, it's not full shoulder width. Have you noticed that? It's just your travel lane width. So to me, it's still kind of narrow.
And if you approach it from the north, does it look like it's a little
Offset.
Offset a little bit,
to
yeah.
the east? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason for that is they ran into the old bridge abutment,
Okay,
and I think so they shifted it to
Okay.
A little bit.
okay.
shifted it to the east.
So in your plans is also, and I apologize, I'm gonna page number these for you and send, when I send it to clerk and to Debbie, I'll put page numbers on, but I also have a signing plan in here to replace all of your signs.
Okay.
And just, I wanted to have you let me know, do you want all your old signs banded and brought to the town hall? Like, do you wanna keep them for spares?
Yes.
You just, okay.
Or for a temporary posting, that one that gets broke off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna get all new signs with this program. They'll be the right size, really good, bright and reflective because they're new. I do have the weight limit, you'll see at the beginning, to remove that, one on each end, but we'll give you those as well. We'll give you every sign that's taken down,
Okay.
okay?
So we're actually not even able to post it in the spring of the year for spring
No.
breakup?
No.
No, part of the accepting of this money is you won't post it and curtail commerce, I guess, right? Yeah.
The culvert markers I see are going in, I think it's gonna be by every culvert.
Every culvert, my proposal would be, and they're a nice white matchstick, so that you guys in maintenance, when you're mowing and that, you at least know where the end of the pipe is, because many times the end of pipe, it's grassed over and you drop the tractor tire on it, or you crush the end, so, yeah, I'd like to put markers by every culvert, whether we're working on it or not, but in essence, we're kind of doing some sort of maintenance work at every culvert on the job,
Okay.
whether we're ditch cleaning, brushing, or refreshing riprap, so we'll put markers on every culvert.
Okay.
What about lines on the road? Are we putting a center strip?
Yeah, well, that would be next. I have in here that we're going to mark the center and edge line of the new road with epoxy paint.
Okay.
There's a trend to use 6-inch. I don't think it's probably warranted with the volume of vehicles you have, so I was proposing 4-inch markings, center line and edge line, yellow center line, white edge lines.
Okay.
I have a bid item in here that they bring out a vehicle and some apparatus to measure and mark passing and no passing zones, because you have them now, you have some passing zones, some no passing, a lot of no passing zones, but you have some passing zones. And I think it's just good to get a refresh with the equipment from the contractor, and that way it's put out per the manual of uniform traffic control devices. So we'll let that kind of dictate. I think for now I put double yellow on the whole corridor, but there'll be some passing zones restored.
Putting up no passing zone signs to them or not?
No, unless you really wanted them. You don't see them too much on town roads, just with the pavement
I
markings.
just happened to notice through
Yeah.
this page here, it's like, no, we don't want those.
The pendants, I call them, yeah. Yep.
So it doesn't make any difference sometimes anyway, the way they pass.
Right?
They don't
It's
get
just
that.
like those deer crossing signs, they
Yeah.
don't cross there anyway.
The pavement markings, they'll let epoxy, will last longer than paint. Paint, it seems like maybe after 3 years it's gone. Epoxy, 6 to 10. Do you guys ever remark any of your roads with a contractor?
Oh, I think they did once or twice that I can remember, but other than that, no.
No, okay,
Because
cause,
really look at the longevity, not the cheapness right up front, because.
Yeah,
yeah. I think epoxy, I'd recommend, especially because you have 90-10 funding, I'd recommend you use epoxy. And years down the road, if a contractor says, well, I'll refresh them for you, I would refresh with epoxy as well, because epoxy can go on epoxy and bond pretty well. They
okay,
can just replicate it.
okay.
If you try to put epoxy on paint, it's not a good bond and it chips off.
Generally sandblast the paint off before they put the epoxy on.
Yeah. This way, if you start with epoxy and you don't want to spend the money to put epoxy back, because maybe you got a good deal on paint, you can put paint on epoxy, no problem. It's just the vice versa doesn't
Yeah.
work well.
Okay.
So replace siding, do out pavement marking, work on the culverts, get you a really good pavement structure, and help safety-wise on that one hill are the kind of the highlights of
Right.
the project. The shouldering, like I said, we're going to try to get you a nice 2-foot shoulder, gravel shoulder, that's not enough to pull all over, but hopefully, it's kind of like now, if you have a flat, you're gonna put one tire on the shoulder and the rest of your vehicle is out on the pavement.
Right.
You know, to fix an errant vehicle.
One thing we did have a problem with on Man is the contractor we had it do it did not do a good job at compacting that. So if there's something that we can put in the plans or whatever so that it gets
Okay.
compacted better.
Okay.
Because anytime you pull, like, we understand that there's gonna be angles and it's not gonna all be perfect, but anytime after you originally did it, anytime you pulled off to the side at all, you went down 2 or 3 inches into the material.
Really?
So if there's some way we can word,
Double compacting, something?
you're the expert at that, so however you want to word it.
Let me think about that one, especially if you haven't had success. That was just last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay.
I mean, we know eventually it's gonna compact, we're gonna put more material on it, but it'd be
You
kinda
want it
nice
right
if
away.
right off the way it would kinda be, yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, that's great.
Just put down however many inches of, base you're putting on the shoulder, compact it. Not loose, compact.
Well, they did try to compact, what they did is they took like, the 8-foot roller, their big roller for blacktop they usually use, and they just took and they let some of that sit over the edge, and the problem is it really didn't, you know, the gravel wasn't built up high enough to really compact down to be level with that.
Too much of that roller was on the pavement probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying the wording
Maybe
is,
what I'll try to say is like a mini roller,
Shoulder too.
you know, something like that, or a wobble, you know, I think one of the best things is what they call a wobble wheel.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a weighted trailer with offsetting wheels, and that, the first time you do it, you put these big ruts in, and then you find, oh my gosh, I gotta put more gravel in, and then it finally comes and shapes up. And maybe I'll think about wobble wheel, because it's narrow, this is
Yeah.
narrow, this
Right.
is not standard equipment you can use for it,
Right.
so.
You can go with the wobble and steel too.
Right. I'm glad we kind of talked it through, because that's why I wanted to come tonight, and I don't wanna, still take a week or two and think about stuff and just let me know, but, I got a late start on this from a design standpoint, and then I wanted to give you time to see what we have proposed and comment on it as well, so this was a good meeting to have, so I can talk you through it, I'll send you some reports.
So
as
when do
well.
we think we'd actually start on this project then?
You know, that's a good question. We can bid this in April or May, and you still would easily build it this
This
season.
summer.
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't be ready for next week.
The question came up though, that it's gotta be, what, done before the 10th of July, or it'd have to be after. But,
Well, the question came up, but if they say they're coming in,
you betcha.
they're coming in.
Yeah, that's right. And the other one's gonna have to adjust.
Exactly.
well, they also
The
stated though,
section down by 97, though, from 97 back to Roman, that's just a polarized relay. They could have that done in 3 days. If it's only 22 feet wide, they could have that done in a day.
they're coming off C though.
They're
Well, yeah, but who's coming off C?
The
That's
cars.
a routing
For the, your
Yes.
family.
No, they're coming off C, coming down.
Okay, well, then, yeah, then shut up.
Yeah, whenever they start that, that's when
Yeah.
they start the road. I'm not gonna work around Waller's schedule, I'm sorry.
Were there issues with people's mailboxes and stuff on man? Did that, was that a problem?
No, they took care of all the
Oh,
mailboxes
you did?
and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if the mailbox is in the way, we don't pay the contractor. It's up to the contractor to work with the property owner to temporarily relocate it or put it back. Now, this type of project, they shouldn't be in the way, but to get good compaction, they may want to lift it out for a day or two and bring it back. I'm proposing that the road be closed to through traffic,
Mhm.
open to local traffic, because you have to get residents, you gotta get emergency service in
Exactly.
there and
Yeah.
mail. So it's always gonna be open, it's just at times you may be driving on that recycled pulverized
Mhm.
material, or on the day of paving, you may have to wait to get flagged around the paver to go. If they're actually paving by your driveway, they're gonna get you out within probably about, let's say the paver's going by, it might be 15 minutes
Mhm.
before the mix cools off enough and they compact it to get you back out, so.
They had an issue on Man where they, actually had one heck of a jump down that they had to come out and fix
Okay.
that night, because they couldn't get out.
I couldn't get out,
Yeah.
okay,
Oregon, you
okay,
know,
sure,
so whoever
sure.
the contractor is, we have to make sure that
And
they
then the
take care
same
of
would
it.
go for if it's during the school year, that the school district's notified for the busing companies too?
Well, hopefully it'll be done by then.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, what if we try and bid this early enough in April, May, and I put a completion date on it of, when do schools start, like after
Usually-
Labor Day, right?
August,
No,
it
it's
starts in
Marshfield
August.
starts August 27th.
So try to be done by August 27th to not affect the bulk
And
busing.
the other thing
Yeah.
is that they do summer school, but I don't know if any of those kids on that road will need the bus.
That we can't do anything about.
Well, no, I'm just
Okay.
saying
Yeah.
that.
If it's open to local traffic, the bus drivers can drive
Yeah.
with their buses.
And they get off early this year, right?
Pardon?
They get done at me.
Yeah.
Maybe then, what I'm hearing, let me know if I'm correct here, is I don't have any schedule restrictions other than completion by August 27th, 2026.
Well, and I don't even know if that's even a restriction. It's more of like, if you're not done, I think the district just needs to know, hey, we're working on this road.
We do, no, you don't do that. You do not give them extra time,
No.
ever, because they will take it. They'll be working on that road in November.
Set a completion date, whatever you wanna call it.
Okay, you do what you guys want. I'm
So-
just saying.
6
What-
weeks before school starts.
What happens
I'm
is
just
if
being the realist here.
if you need help with this, let's say they don't meet the completion date, this job is, there are some special provisions, and I gave you a copy, but the job follows the DOT spec book,
Right.
and on completion date contract, if you run over, they start to get assessed a penalty of
Okay.
almost like $1,500 a day for every day that they go over, every calendar day, so that includes Saturdays and Sundays, and
Mhm.
it's usually enough money that it gets their attention that they
Yes.
don't wanna run over.
Yeah, but you don't wanna give them leeway, you don't have to.
Right. But if they don't start till August 1st, there's no way they're not gonna. they're
That's
gonna-
their problem. They know what the completion date is.
Yeah,
Okay.
If they wanna do it in 2 days, they do it in 2 days. They know what the completion date is.
yeah,
What I was thinking is, it's an ARIP project, I read through some of the guidelines, we have to run an ad as your local newspaper, the Marshfield News
Yeah.
Herald.
yeah.
So we have to make sure we run 2, is it Class B notices, or Class 2, I can't remember.
Class 2, I think.
We have to run it like, let's say you open a board meeting on a Monday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
2 Mondays prior to that has to be the first ad, and then 1 week before is the second ad, and then the bid opening, so
Okay.
we have to proceed it. And then, this is something new to this program, 3 weeks from bidding, I have to submit the advertisement, which I have one in here for you, but I'll create a 1-pager of it. And I have to submit that, or the clerk does, to the DOT. You have like a portal that you use for ARIP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a spot to submit the advertisement, and I'll send you Microsoft Word or PDF once we decide on the bid opening date.
Okay,
And you had given me a couple of dates. Everyone meets the first Monday of the month, second Monday of the month.
so a week from today we meet.
So the April one, I think, is cutting it a little close to give you time to review and us to, address the fabric and some of the things we've heard. But I was wondering, like, if you still wanted to bid in April, are you adverse to a special town board meeting just to open bids?
No, I
No,
wouldn't have a problem with that.
I don't think all members have to be present, but
Yeah,
just, because this program requires you to accept a sealed bid at a town
okay,
meeting.
okay.
Some of them, like in the past, remember I've done them
You give us a
electronically?
list and, yeah.
Yeah, this one, they need to present them physically at a
Board
town
meeting.
officials meeting. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry about that.
Well,
It kind of
that's not a
adds
problem.
up.
Yeah,
It's not real modern to do that, but it is what it is. It's
Mhm.
some of the red tape.
we're still used to that, we're old school.
Okay.
Speak for yourself.
And-
We know how.
And I've dealt with a number of projects like that. Let's say you have a board meeting, special board meeting, late April to open bids. Let's say it's 6 o'clock. What I would recommend is somebody's here then like at 5:30 to accept them
Right?
before you
Mhm.
open the bids, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
And some contractors who are ahead of the game will actually mail them to you,
Mhm.
or
We have a Dropbox, they can
Or a
drop them off, or
Dropbox.
they have brought them right into the board meetings.
Sure,
So,
Couple other administrative things. In the past, some municipalities require a bond to be submitted with the bid, like a bond that this bid I'm giving you, I'm gonna stand by it.
mhm,
It costs money.
mhm.
They don't just give it away. I always have a performance bond, meaning
Right.
if they fail, they don't show up,
Mhm.
their surety has to pay
Pay for
you
it.
all that money to
Yeah.
hire another contractor to do
Mhm.
it. That's for sure. It's just, they call it a bid bond.
Mhm.
And,
I don't think we've ever had to really worry about that, have we?
I don't see a lot of
We
value
didn't do it with
in it.
man, did we?
No,
We
we
did.
didn't. We had a performance bond, but we didn't
Yeah.
have a bid bond.
I do make them do a notarized proposal. When they give you the bid, it's notarized that it attests that they're serious and they will do the work if awarded the bid.
Right.
Because if they, the thing is, if they decide, if they turn us down after we've accepted them, though, we just move to the next person, right? We don't
You
have to,
would.
we don't have to rebid,
That's
just
what
go
I
to the next
recommend.
person in line.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep, if they deny it or something.
So we're not bound by them anyway, so.
You're correct, right. And I do always have, for towns, I say that you will take the lowest or most responsible bidder, your choice. Let's say somebody comes in at, $500,000 and this is $1.5 million job. You may say, geez, are you even qualified to do
Yeah.
this,
Yeah,
So,
we don't necessarily have to take the low bid.
correct.
Yeah.
And it can be based on past performance of that contractor, say in your township, like I think you had Earth
Mm-hmm.
on man, on the side from the shoulders. I hope they did a good job for
Mhm.
you. So,
They also did E.
Well, that one, I think, when 153 was redone,
That got
They-
pounded.
they pounded that road so bad. And I think it got 10 years worth of traffic on it prior to it being 10 years old. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're supposed to redo that in, not this year, next year.
Now, for what we were talking about, the only place that's gonna get the matting is the spot we were talking on the hill.
in that reconstruct.
If you get this side of, and you can help me out a little bit here, Dave, on my spacing, but you get this side of the bridge, there's a spot that's pretty broken up there.
Okay,
And that's just not poor maintenance of the surface, that actually gets pretty soft. If you walk out there when the frost is going out,
Mhm.
you can actually, it'll actually move under your feet.
okay.
Was there any extra provision made there to correct that issue?
Well,
Because that's a soft spot that we never basically were able to
That's
adjust.
at the 40 line,
Okay.
north of Elm Tree.
actually, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna hand you my plan. I'll
Okay,
show you
show
where the
Mark.
bridge is. And that way,
Because during August, it just looks like it's bad blacktop, but if you walk out there when the
you,
frost is going
you
on.
and Dave wanna mark, here's your right hand. There's the, south end of the bridge, see where it's kinda grassy, see the wing walls there?
So where's our,
That's a driveway.
Right there, huh?
I'm
Here's,
thinking we're gonna be up in here.
yeah, it's gonna be by the 40 line.
It's gonna be up in here.
okay, well, I see it if I go out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much-
Yeah, go,
how
go
much
to this
is
page,
it?
it might be easy for you, for you
Yeah,
to show
there you
where
go.
it
Oh,
actually is.
sure, the overview, this color one.
Cause you got stationed right there, you can just transfer over them.
Yeah, you might get some images of that. The Plain River.
Elm Tree, it's gonna be right in. Right there,
Yeah.
from here, 95 to 100.
Where's the bridge?
Right out.
Mhm. Yeah, you did.
Here.
Just a second,
Might be a little further in
I'm looking at.
here. If you drive it, you're
You're
gonna see it's all broke up, yeah.
Cause this is ours here,
So it's gonna be in this area right here.
alright.
80 to 85.
Where is Elm Tree? We got a 40 here.
I don't know. It's the wrong person.
Yeah,
Elm tree's here.
this is the 40 line here.
Well, Elm Tree's right
Here, here.
here.
Right. So I think that's the spot.
Okay.
Dave, is your house down here?
You're gonna be able to see it, cause it's all broken up,
Yeah,
and there's a little bit of a solid spot.
we can stop
There's
down there,
another
I'll
broken
show it
spot.
to you.
Okay.
If you're headed that way.
Yeah, 'cause
So that might, I mean,
what I can do is, there's a couple options, we're gonna pulverize and relay, but maybe there we do what's called EBS, excavation below subgrade, where I get out that soft yielding soil, we put down the geotextile fabric, some breaker run, base course asphalt, especially if it's an area where it's been a problem year after year.
The other one I was thinking of was, when we had the flood of 2002, the whole east side of Stod was gone. North of Roman, forward a quarter mile. So there should be a lot of breaker run in there, because I counted 17 layers of decomposed granite when I was spotting trucks, because the whole northbound lane had washed out.
Washed out,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's down in the
It's in the wetlands.
wetlands.
In the wetlands, okay.
Yeah.
In the swamp.
Okay. For driveways, we always, because remember I'm raising the profile, say 3 to 4 inches, we go back to almost the right of way. Maybe not quite the right of way, but we replace in kind everybody's driveway to get them back up to grade. If they have granite, I have red granite. If they have base egg, asphalt, and there's one concrete driveway that will replace the gentleman's approach in concrete. We try to do it in kind.
Yep.
although in all actuality, I think our ordinance though says that they're not allowed to have concrete out to the road. So it may
There's a
be,
couple of them that do though.
There's one
But they
on
do-
stock that does.
but they
Yeah,
usually
west
do
side.
that because the fact of trying to bring in a blacktop guy to do that little swath, most of the time they just do it in concrete, knowing that if we come through, they're gonna lose their concrete, they're gonna get a blacktop apron.
Didn't we just have an issue with a concrete driveway that got a little ding? Was that a concrete one? Oh, okay.
No, I do have this is confidential estimate. I did an engineer's estimate of what I think the project is going to cost. I probably won't say it out loud because this
That's
is
fine.
an open meeting, but I would give the board members, I have 3 copies.
Okay.
And I do ask that you don't share that with anyone or the industry. If you have to put something in the minutes, I usually suggest a range. This is a $1 to $2 million project.
Yeah.
How's that? Okay. How much was, now that can be public, how much was your ARIP grant?
1.379, I believe.
Oh,
That's what we were getting.
I thought I was looking for different
You'll
numbers.
be able to get at least 90% of that.
No, that would be the 90% that they,
That's the 90?
Yeah.
Okay,
because I think we came in at 1.5 million.
okay.
So
How much was our ARIP, did you say?
we should be getting 1.379. Wasn't that?
The total project
It's
is
1.5.
estimated at 1.569. So we should get maximum 1.376. So you're very close.
Okay, okay, good. And I will be refining that as we draw near towards the
Okay.
day too. And what I do is I'll have a fresh estimate to bring to the night of the bid opening to compare it to as
Okay.
well.
Sounds good. Anybody else have any other questions?
No, good work.
After your time here, though, I do want you to kind of re-show me on the map here of
I
that
sure will.
Willow Hill.
Yep, yep,
I wasn't really able to find the exact
Okay.
over there, so.
okay, no problem. Actually, if you wanna come on the table here, I can walk you through.
Do we want to adjourn first?
Yeah.
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're done.
And they do have enough light left, Steve, I was gonna, if you got time, you wanna show me that soft spot? that would be
I do
awesome.
have a request for you. I need you to look at 2 culverts, one on 1 mile, okay?
Okay,
And
on
one
1
on
mile,
Scott.
this 1 mile
Yeah,
here?
there's 1 mile over here. They have, it's that small bridge ramp thing coming out. They have to be engineered, and we can apply for 2. And 2 of ours are rated at 3. So we qualify for both of them, but we need engineering on both of them.
Okay.
So, one on Stott and the one on 1 mile,
A different stretch of stop.
South of 97.
South
south of 97.
And they're currently bridges,
The one on 1 mile is a bridge, the other one's a
the culvert.
A culvert.
Okay,
One on 1 mile is a wheeler box.
Yeah, it's a box
Okay.
culvert. The-
It's concrete end walls and wood deck.
No, there's no.
There's wood in there. Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, I know there's wood, because my son helped put it in. I was there. I was there before you.
But anyway, when you
No
bring it
bottom
time,
to it.
Jim, and those bids have to
So
be in
really,
by May
technically, this
1st.
is a box.
So if you, if you don't get out there today, that's fine. Yeah. But I need to, I'll remind you.
and when it comes to bridges, Debbie, we're not a structural engineering firm, so I actually might encourage you to,
Anybody get it?
I like Jewel,
Uh-huh.
for Mead and Hunt.
Okay, Jewel, I got some paperwork from them, so they might be the ones to call then.
Yeah, so
Okay.
unfortunately, all I would do is hire them as a sub-consultant.
Oh, and then you get charged more, so no,
Yeah,
you don't want you to.
I recommend you go to a bridge engineer. Yeah. I got like a sub markup that I gotta put
They
on.
all do.
You guys don't need to pay that.
All right, I'll give Jewel a call.
I can get you some contact to, though.
Would you please?
Yeah, for sure. I'll give you 2 contacts, Mead and Hunt and Jewel.
Okay,
Maybe you know, then you got some choices.
okay, sounds good, Jim. Thank you for coming.
Sure. Okay.
Bye.
So-
If you wanna take them,
Oh,
and
Yeah,
then make
these-
sure they end
I
up
can
in
explain
Brandon's
those
office.
and what.
Oh, I'm good. Actually, we're cleaning up there for the things that I have tomorrow, which is.
I live there, so that's why I know.
You live on this corner? Okay.
This is
See how, see how that goes like that, and that makes your sight line go up into the horizon.
cutting that, and you're sitting here,
I don't know
at
that
eye
well.
height, and you're able to kind of see down through now, at
He's
least
on the
that
Marshall
500
board.
feet.
That's all I know.
To an
He's a nice
object,
kid. I
technically
call him
we say,
He's like,
you can see an object 2 feet in
he's a
height.
nice kid, I call him.
Okay, so I just cut enough to get you
Yeah.
that site.
That's just gonna congratulate you.
You could cut more, but it again.
Because we're looking at 3 feet, right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Because I know in the winter, 3 feet.
Well, I'll just have him call
Because I
me.
know it's gonna give us grief in the
Just
winter.
do it.
But that's not.
You know, you can go up, when you drive past there, when you drive through.
Yeah.